this is another one of those moments where it's like, where were you when NHL came to Utah?
You're listening to the UTalk Hockey Podcast with your hosts Champ and Denz.
Welcome back, everyone, to another fantastic prepared episode. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that again. But welcome back to another episode, everyone. We are so excited. We are 6 days
From the recording of this episode.
6 days out from the official first ever home opener puck drop of the regular season, Utah Hockey Club. And man, it is so exciting. Preseason has been a lot of fun. We're going to talk about some of that stuff today. But nonetheless, let's dive right into Off the Post, because there's a few things to dive right into.
It's going to be a fun one. Let's go.
Alrighty. First and foremost,
We're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back because
it's the talk of the town.
It's always been this, like, all the chirps from past episodes and stuff of like, this is Coyotes 2.0.
Yeah, lame.
Anyways, the Salt Lake City sales tax was officially approved.
Yep.
So whether you like it or not, it's finally moving forward. That's not a question mark. And even if it was a question mark, Ryan Smith still had plenty of backup plans. But nonetheless, it was just over slightly more than half. But in a public survey, it was actually majority of people were against it.
Yes. I mean, we talked about it last episode. There was the whole debacle of him or someone in his organization really having a bias towards, if we don't do this, we might turn into Detroit, which I don't wish that upon my worst enemy.
That's laying it on thick.
Laying it on thick. Really. But what's crazy is the amount of money that SEG plans to put into this project.
It's true. You know, if you aren't aware, usually when a big corporation comes into a city, they're always trying to work a deal with the city. Who's going to give them a better tax break, right? Even from, like, Costco coming in down here in Spanish Fork, like, there was a certain amount of years, like, I think it was like 10 years, where they don't have to pay tax, and it's a business transaction. You're working with, yes, it's government, and yes, people end up paying for it. And there could be a lot of arguments on both sides. We're not going to get into that tonight. The only thing we just want to mention is it's moving forward, and actually not a lot of money comparatively to what SEG is going to spend on revitalizing downtown and everything that's going to go into the project. That actually is partly Salt Lake City's responsibility, and I've talked about that before. It's in my opinion, a decent and fair trade. But some people have the argument those older facilities really don't need work or touched, and that we're all past that, so we're just going to try and move on. And honestly, I think the coolest part was Ryan Smith was recently talking about, I don't remember his position with the Olympic Committee. Did you see this? He had the whole plans and showcasing, like, this is where we can do the medals, ceremonies and stuff. And, you know, there's...
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. Yeah, and so it looks sick.
It does. And you know what? Like, if... It's going to be the center of the world stage for the 2034 Olympics is going to be most likely this entertainment district. So I kind of see it as they're probably killing a couple birds with one stone. And yeah. So
SEG
they're investing a lot.
$3 billion, but the tax amount is 0.5%. So right now it's at 7.75% sales tax rate. So with that 0.5% up, it pushes it to 8.25 over no more than 30 years. The tax doesn't apply to groceries and major purchases like vehicles.
Yeah.
And the increase will take effect January 1, 2025. The tax hike's anticipated to generate $1.2 billion over the 30-year life of the agreement. $900 million of which goes to SEG to repay the bonds for the project.
Yeah.
So $3 billion from Ryan Smith and SEG over 30 years, $1.2 billion to make this thing next level.
Yeah. So, anyways, there you have it. It's moving forward, and despite just over the majority of the public being against it, officials voted for it. So, that's what it is.
Now, Ryan Smith is going to drop $3 billion on this renovation, but guess what he's still doing for the people at the Delta Center, both Jazz and Utah hockey fans. You might have seen it, and if you saw it, it gave you a little smile, your heart probably felt a little good if you're a fan of Jazz or the Utah Hockey Club. Concessions are being lowered. And that, my friends, is why Ryan Smith is the white knight of sports in the state of Utah.
Not even in the state of Utah. It's made national news what they
That's
just
because no other sporting event reduces concessions. Nobody does that except Ryan Smith.
Yeah, and it's like he just said, hey, you know what? Now, it was interesting. They called it like the 6 fan favorites.
Yeah.
And it was just, in my mind, I was just like, are those the fan favorites?
But let's talk about it for a second. Concession number 1. Before the drop, how much was a Dasani water bottle?
We just
went.
I think it was $6, right?
It was $6.
$5.
Guess how much it is now? $2.
$2.
Okay. A box of popcorn. I bet before the drop, it was around $6, $7.
Yeah.
It's $3. Okay. Nachos. Nachos are always expensive, and they make you pay for the cheese separately.
$5, $6 again.
Probably $7, $8. Guess what? $3. Okay. A hot dog, not a J dog. A hot dog. Hot dog probably costs you
Like that big in a bun?
Dude, size doesn't matter. Dude. Yeah, a normal hot dog. Bun length. Okay? About 6 inches.
a normal Frank.
Yeah, a normal Frank.
But you know what's funny is people all online were just like, what? Are these our hot dog sizes now?
Little Smokies.
Here's the, chips and nachos.
Can you imagine? They're just miniature sized everything.
A bucket of popcorn.
But a hot dog, probably $5. It's $3. And this is probably the craziest one. A bowl of Farr's ice cream. When you get any ice cream at a sporting event, it's overpriced because everybody wants something sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It probably would cost $6, $7, $8 for a bowl of ice cream. It's $3. Folks, you won't have to break the bank to enjoy Utah Hockey Club hockey.
Or Jazz.
Or Jazz. It's all Delta Center events with the Jazz or the Utah Hockey Club. That is awesome.
Now, what level of garbage food is now going to be served, though? Because
they won't.
I'm
they
kidding.
say they're still going to keep the high level. J-Dogs. Isn't there a Chick-fil-A in there?
There's a
Chick-fil-A. Cubbies.
You know what else was?
Their tri-tip sandwich was delicious, by the way.
They're going to... they talked about how they're going to provide food options from the visiting local, from the city, wherever the team's coming from. They're going to try and create a menu, just a couple food options of wherever they're coming from that's popular. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Then a part of me was just like, how many does that apply to? When the Anaheim Ducks come to town, is there something special about food there?
I don't know. Or are they saying that it's local Utah eateries that they then provide the food to?
It did say it was the representation of whatever city they're playing against.
Oh, crazy.
I guess Anaheim, it could be like Disney. Or you serve duck.
I don't know. Tell us, what did they sell in California? Oranges. Grapes. I don't know. Wine. No wine.
I mean, it's just beer. There's no wine. I don't.
Here's another crazy part. This is just a statistic that they threw into the concessions talk.
Mm-hmm.
The Delta Center this season is preparing to host over 80 nights of sports entertainment between the Utah Jazz and Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah.
That is insane. But super cool that it's just Ryan Smith is a man of the people. He's just like he's like you and me, just a lot wealthier. But he doesn't take the wealth and have that stop him from giving a great experience. He's the father of experience management.
Now to all the people who be like, then why does he need $1 billion of our taxpayer money?
Because he's putting in $3 billion. 3-1.
Still a man of the people?
Still a man of the people.
I think a lot of people would say he's against the people.
Dude, you tell us what you think. Is Ryan Smith a man of the people? Not that chirp that we read last episode. If you didn't hear it, go see what he was saying about the sneaker wearing,
Whatever he is.
Bro, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next one, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so Cole Bagley, KSL, Utah Hockey Club, Sports Insider.
We do like what Cole's dropping. He's dropping a lot of
go
good
give
stuff.
him a follow. He is the official I don't know,
KSL sports guy.
The sports guy for the Utah Hockey Club. Gosh, my nose is buzzing. Anyways.
Snorting, popping.
But he posted this as part of the just information as news, but Tej Aginla has been assigned to the Kelowna WHL.
Which is where
That's where he was. Anyways, so he had a great first camp with the team. He got to play in a couple or just one.
It was just the one.
Just the one, actually.
Mm-hmm. Avs.
The Avs game. Anyways, and he played good. It was fun to watch him, and he talked about how he loved getting the opportunity to wear a sweater and play under the name. But he'll be back.
Was it the Avs or Vegas?
He didn't play for Vegas. I think he was technically in the clear, but he didn't play there yet.
That's right.
But yeah, he said that he was happy with it. The team was really proud of him. The players talked about how they were excited to see his performance, and I think he'll be back within the next year or two. So great skill set. Man, that kid can move.
Yeah, he can move. WHL is the Western Hockey League.
Not the Women's Hockey League.
No, it's not. Can you imagine if he got put in the Women's Hockey League? It's like, slap to the face, welcome to the NHL. You're going to the WHL. It's like, what?
There's not a diss on the WHL.
No. I'm just saying
Sure.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. We don't need to get into the politics of
We don't
sports.
need to get into the politics of that.
All right. So the second thing from Twitter,
X.
Anyways, Ryan Smith, love him or hate him,
you gotta love him,
is wanting people to nominate up to 4 people to ride the Zamboni for the inaugural home opener.
Read the exact
Yeah, so this
quote.
is what he said. So if you have X or Twitter, go follow Ryan Smith and check on this post.
His handle's Ryan Qualtrics.
Yep. So he said, at Utah Hockey Club's inaugural game is Tuesday, October 8th. We have a spot for 4 fans to ride on the Zamboni after warm-ups and during intermissions. Nominate a fan below who would love to ride the Zamboni and why you think we should pick them. Winners will be announced Friday. So I actually already posted.
Go
nominate UTalk Hockey.
Nominate us, because you probably don't want to write it, right?
We'll be there anyways.
We're gonna be there.
You know what I mean?
Buying $3 nachos, hot dogs, and $2
you
waters. Bet. Dude, I'm gonna buy all the things because that's the price of one tri-tip.
I'm never getting Cubby's burger or anything with those prices again.
That's the challenge. That's definitely a challenge. It's going to cause the other vendors to get a little pissed off probably.
Or will they actually lower their prices because they probably have a little bit higher? I don't know.
I hope so.
Regardless,
awesome.
I'm just excited to take my 15% off food on already something that now is over 50% cheaper.
We'll see. It didn't work the first time.
It didn't work the first time, but
he was expecting 25% off, and he got 0% off.
Well, I wasn't expecting it. I just was like, can you mix and match?
You were expecting it.
I mean, as an American Express card holder, it was like, you get 10% off. And then I
was that
like,
a flex? Was that as an Amex card holder?
Why is that a flex?
I love I pay a fee of $200 a year.
Oh, it's much more than that.
See, that's who pays for a fee. No one likes the cards with the fees except the people with the money.
That is completely irrelevant.
Denz is trying to be Ryan Qualtrics.
No. I decided to finally commit as a Delta Sky Club member person.
Ryan Qualtrics.
I guess I have to be a fan of the Delta Center.
Yeah.
Because I'm
You're an
member.
official medallion member, dude.
Sure.
Dude, you're riding first class on the next plane ride you're getting on.
We'll see. But this is irrelevant.
It's so irrelevant. But that's what makes us us.
But my point being is I don't know why this turned into something so big. All I was wondering, I was just like, do I get both?
Right.
And I got neither. So,
and you got nothing.
Nothing.
Maybe
Anyways,
they'll have it fixed right there.
Go nominate. If you want to nominate us, that's cool.
You can nominate us. Whatever.
But there's also much like cuter stories out there of like, my 4-year-old daughter. She's
Would
just
love
getting
to
into
ride
it.
the Zamboni.
And I was like, okay, pull on the sob story.
2 full-grown men versus a 4-year-old. Who's going to win on a Zamboni ride?
Right.
It's going to be the 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can still try.
You can still vote for us. We are now going to take you on a journey to end
You
off
gotta
the
redo
post.
that. Oh,
We are now going to
There you
take
go.
you on a journey.
there you go.
Go ahead, close your eyes. No, this is a long journey, so don't close your eyes. You might fall asleep. What we wanted to do as we prepare, because this episode is the last episode, Denz,
Before official hockey.
the official inaugural home opener, the
Yeah.
first regular season game of Utah Hockey Club.
Yep.
This is the last episode.
This is it.
So to celebrate, to
Bringing back the nay.
excitedly prepare ourselves for Tuesday, October 8th.
We're all over the place.
We figured it would be fun to recap and go take a walk down memory lane of how the Utah Hockey Club came to be. Doesn't
Let's
that sound
do it.
fun?
Let's do it.
Okay.
You know what's crazy is this is episode 18,
18.
and we have yet to play an official game in Utah that is a regular season game.
It's true.
This has all been
Leading up to this very moment.
The preseason and off season and postseason.
Yeah.
Like this has just been the anticipation building for 18
It's finally
episodes.
here, man. It's so exciting. But, okay, here's the timeline, okay? And it's way before you actually think. So check this out. April 2022.
Picture this.
Picture this. April 2022. Ryan Smith meets with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman to informally inquire about bringing an expansion franchise to Utah.
Was that the dinner that people caught them at?
Yeah. 2022. April 2022. Fast forward now. That was just a dinner. Chatting with a guy who's a commissioner of a National Hockey League. Right? January 24th, 2024. So now 2 years later. Almost 2 years. SEG formally requests that the NHL initiate an expansion process. Okay, January 2024.
It was a public letter.
Yeah, he's like, we would like to initiate this process.
Yep.
And in January, when we started hearing about it, we're like, oh man, maybe a couple years from now we'll have something.
Like, how cool would that be?
How cool would that be? March 6th, Bettman approaches Arizona Coyotes owner Alex Morello about the possibility of selling the team. March 6th, 2024. April 18th, the NHL Board of Governors awards a new franchise to Salt Lake City and approves the sale of the Coyotes hockey assets to Ryan Smith for $1.2 billion.
Jeez.
Crazy. Within a 3-month time frame of just saying, hey, we'd like to initiate the process.
You got a team.
Hey, you got the team in April on the 18th. Guess what happened on April 19th, Denz?
We released our first episode of the UTalk Hockey podcast, which actually we released.
I don't know why it's the Titanic theme. Oh, I get it. It's the Coyotes.
Oh,
it's that harmonica one.
Yes.
I'm gonna put that in there. That's coming up. You're gonna hear it.
Which actually, interestingly enough, we posted the episode on the 19th, but we recorded on the 18th.
Yes.
So
literally
that day is when
we
launched.
said we are going to do a podcast like a week before. We're like, oh, we got to prepare for this, and then it happened, and then we're like, okay, get the recording gear. We're going.
Yep, we did it.
Pilot episode, NHL in Utah. This is the place.
That was the name of the episode.
That was the name of the episode. If you want to go listen to it, we've definitely changed since then. We've added a lot of elements. We both look a lot different. We've grown.
Just
new haircut, beard, longer. You know, our personalities, the segments.
We've gotten more comfortable.
Go watch the first episode and then come watch this one, and you'll be like, whoa. They've really changed.
So,
it.
You know what's funny is Champ and I were sporting the same haircut for a while.
Yeah. And I was like, are you brothers? No, I'm not.
Probably as close as you can get.
Not that I wouldn't be sad if you were my brother. I made that sound like I didn't want you to be my brother, but
anyways, you know what's funny is growing Champ's haircut is what I used to have. Here, show him. Right, so the very hard part.
Right, hard part with a fade.
Anyways, it is incredibly hard. This is completely irrelevant, but it is incredibly hard to grow out of that haircut.
It really is.
And I finally made the switch, but as I was doing it at the beginning stages, we got some snarky comments online like, oh, look at you guys.
Geez, you got matching haircuts.
Matching
What's
haircuts,
next?
and I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm making the switch.
What's next? The sweaters? Oh,
Anyways.
We like to match. So sue us. No, don't sue us. We don't want to be sued.
We don't have any money. Not worth it.
You wouldn't get anything.
They're like, I want you for your season tickets.
Yeah, well, maybe. You could sue us for the tickets.
Anyways, so that was April 19th, first episode of the UTalk Hockey Podcast, just a few days later.
Right. And then, after that, the week later, they held the event. The big event. 12,400 people show up to the Delta Center to welcome the former Coyote players and the staff to Utah. That arena, Delta Center, was packed.
Yep.
There were fire marshals.
Well, packed.
Right. There were fire marshals that said, hey, it's capacity at the seats that are open. You can't go in there. That is awesome. And that happened literally just a week after the announcement. Okay? May 6th, SEG puts the Shops at Southtown under contract and announces it has a site of the NHL team's future practice facility. That seems like just yesterday that happened. Now, they broke ground much later.
Sure.
But they shared that, hey, we're turning a mall into our practice facility.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And it was just like,
It was very, very, very structured.
Next thing.
June 7th, season tickets go on sale. Denz here got some. The team ultimately sells 8,500 full season equivalents.
So what that means is...
Go ahead.
Of the tickets that were sold, what they did is those who purchased full season tickets, and then they doubled up on all the ones that purchased half
season or quarter season
to the equivalent of 8,500.
And that's full season. So full season ticket holders in total, right? When you average it all out or add it all together.
That leaves only 1,500 unobstructed view seats for single game sales.
But you know what's even crazier? That's over double the capacity of what the Coyotes offered. Just in season ticket holders alone. Awesome. I mean, aren't you having fun listening to this? Because I am. Here's June 13th. The $1.2 billion franchise acquisition officially closes. They posted on X. The pen has hit the paper, right?
Yep.
The team announces it will be known as the Utah Hockey Club. Lots of chirps at that point.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't like it. But for its inaugural season and reveals its temporary branding. Relax, everybody. It's just temporary. Or is it? Remember that one episode where it could just be forever?
This next one is interesting. June 18th.
Go ahead.
Chris Armstrong is hired as the president of hockey operations and named an alternate governor of UHC. June 18th.
Yep.
Do you know who was already welcoming the team and kind of the head honcho on some video footage?
That we saw in, what's it called? UHC.
Fresh Ice?
Fresh Ice? Fresh Heights? Fresh something.
Yeah.
It's Fresh something. They showed it in the opening preseason game.
Yeah. It was like...
He was around...
in the locker room for the welcome party.
Yep.
Anyways, so we're like, I mean, it wasn't announced. The announcement
came way later.
But like,
so
they
nobody
had that
knew.
in the works right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. June 26th, Utah HC announces plans to renovate and use the Utah Olympic Oval as its first-year practice facility. I think people were excited about that.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Right. Being able to experience it there.
You know what they've also done? Is they've practiced their blitz or speed skating.
Yeah.
Rink. And someone just made the comment. It was just like, it's kind of nice actually to have the Olympic Oval here because we get to use other aspects of ice around for even better training.
Yeah, it's super cool. 2 days later, June 28th, the NHL draft begins. We're listed as Utah at pick number 6, and the team picks the first ever draft pick for the Utah Hockey Club, Mr. Iginla, Tej, son of Hockey Hall of Famer Jerome Iginla. July 12th, what happened, Denz?
Single game tickets go on sale.
Right. People start chirping. Oh, it's too expensive. But listen, it's an inaugural season. Of course they're going to make it more expensive for you just because it's inaugural.
And the reality
later on, it will get cheaper.
Yeah.
It will get cheaper.
Yep.
I mean, just look at the Jazz. Okay.
That's to say that we're going to go slowly backwards.
I hope not. I hope it continues to progress forward, which actually in the face-off frenzy, stay tuned.
We're going to talk about that.
There's going to be a genie involved, so stay tuned. You know, after July 12th, we took a break, and guess what? So did the news.
It did.
Because from July 12th to September 4th, it was almost crickets.
Yeah.
Besides the rookie showcase or the rookies doing their thing. That's
true.
Right? September 4th, SEG reveals the broadcast team for games, who's going to be running it, and the former Coyotes play-by-play announcer, Matt McConnell. He's already done the preseason game. That was kind of his preseason announcing, right? Mm-hmm. But we're going to have him back of his years of experience with the Coyotes and other professional NHL teams. September 9th, this was a big drop. Uniforms for the team's inaugural season are officially unveiled. Mm-hmm. We see the excitement and the freshness of those crisp jerseys.
That was just a couple weeks ago.
It was September 9th, folks. That was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3.5 weeks ago.
September 19th, 2 weeks ago, SEG introduces its direct consumer streaming service. Lots of people don't like it so far. It's struggling. I think some of it's user error. Jeez, error. What am I? New Jersey? New York?
There are just some things with like, yeah.
Yes, there are some nuances.
I remember watching the Ducks game, this evening, and it was just fine.
It was just fine. Yep, they fixed the audio. I mean, the first game, it was rough. The audio quality, even the video quality, it was low. But they're doing better. Okay, September 23rd. We were there, dude. The team plays its first exhibition game at the Delta Center. We were there.
We were there.
It was awesome.
Week and a
you
half ago.
probably were there, right? If you're
Maybe.
listening to this, you probably were there. And guess what? October 1st, while we're recording, right. Is it the first today or is it the second?
Today's the second.
Okay.
October 1st. Yesterday,
October 1st.
the whole sales tax approval went through. We already talked about that, but
And here we are recording tonight as they're losing to the Anaheim Ducks
it's a loss.
in their preseason game to ultimately bring us to October 8th, coming up, where the Utah Hockey Club will play its first ever regular season game against the Chicago Blackhawks, which will air
on
ESPN.
Which I believe that means it won't be on SEG+.
You're probably correct.
I'm pretty sure I read that. So, anyways.
So we have arrived, folks. That is the timeline that has led
Quite
from
the timeline.
hockey as a wish, a dream.
To it just...
It's reality, dude. It is here, and we're all for it. And that concludes Off the Post. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
So let's dive into now
Puck of the week.
Let's go.
It's time to announce the Puck of the Week.
Alrighty, so Puck of the Week. We've been doing these just as a reminder for those of you who are new listeners and subscribers. Every single week we highlight someone who's just engaging on social media. Not a very big requirement. We just highlight them and we nominate them, which means we're just keeping track of who we choose each and every week. And at the end of the season, we're going to send to one of the last few games of the season, we're going to send one of these people that we've nominated 2 tickets. We'll transfer our season tickets so you guys can go to one of the final games of the inaugural season.
We're going to pick the game soon, too, so you actually know
Which
it is.
date and time you should be.
So then, you know, like, oh, if I win, I'm going to get these tickets.
So there's just your reminder. Quick side thing, though. We also have another giveaway. So if you haven't been paying attention, all you have to do is actually share our episodes on social media. Just go and spread our episodes. And that right now is not a competition. That is a GIF. Excuse me.
What is going on, dude? You need some liquid death.
I almost died. Just choked.
I mean, he's dying.
On October 30th, the Calgary Flames are coming to Utah, and I'm gifting those tickets as well. So if you want to enter to win those ones, all you have to do is get on social, tag us in the post, and share one of our episodes. So a couple things going on right now. 2 different games that we're sending people to. There'll be more throughout the season, but that's how you can participate. But this week's Puck of the Week is going to Marty Phelps 970.
Marty.
So Marty, you posted this about 2 weeks ago. It was after our episode of
The chant in the Face-Off Frenzy. What should the chant be?
Yeah, and so Marty posted and engaged on, and this was his opinion that he shared. He said, I definitely liked the UTAH, Utah
Which we
chant.
got to get that chant going. UTA.
Yeah, way better than the way we just did it. And then he said, good work, guys, and let's go one step further. YETI, Yeti. Again.
Assuming, don't be surprised if it's going to be Yeti.
If it's going to be Yeti.
Dude, don't be surprised if they announce it at the home opener. Do you think so? Because they already have it and it's all about legal.
I mean, I don't know.
Dude.
But I mean,
is it going to snow?
And then like a big Yeti walks out on the ice.
Exactly, dude. I bet they already have the mascot. I bet he comes out on skates and he's like, yeah. Something like that.
Something like that. Speaking of mascots, did you see Connor Ingram, goalie of UHC's team? He posted online about Cosmo.
No, what did he say?
He was just like, I'm usually not like, I forget the word he used, but he's like, I'm not like connected to like any college sports. I'm like, but the Cougar, the Cosmo Cougar, is freaking legit,
dude. Connor, you know what we'll do? We'll buy you a cougar tail. I will box it up and ship it to your house. You want a big donut? Dude, Connor's got to enjoy a big donut. Cougar tail.
Okay.
What do the Utes have? A hawk tail?
Do they?
No.
Oh.
No, they don't. They don't have anything. They have a university. That's what they have.
Anyways, we've had some tangents tonight.
Dude, it's one of those episodes.
So, anyways.
Marty, you won.
Marty.
Run for it, Marty! Dude, Back to the Future.
I know. You didn't win. You were nominated. Don't give a false hope that...
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Did I say win?
Yeah. Anyways.
Hold on. I'm going to have to go back to the past to turn that back around. Dude,
anyways.
I'm killing Denz tonight.
Let's go on to Face-Off Frenzy.
Let's go.
Face-Off Frenzy.
All right. Face-Off Frenzy. I wanted to make it really interesting tonight. Okay, Denz? So I involved a genie. Okay, here it is. And fans, we want your opinion on this. What would you rather have, okay? This is a face-off frenzy. We ask a question, and you have to decide which way you go, okay? Here's the face-off frenzy scenario. If a genie, you rub a little lamp, it says,
I get
hello, Denz. You get one of two options. Not even
Okay.
a wish. You don't even get a wish from this genie. He's a
lame genie.
He's a discount genie, okay? But you get the discount genie,
fine.
and discount genie says, here are your two options. UHC makes the playoffs this year, inaugural season,
Okay. Liking it.
and let their skill take them as far as they could go. Okay? So they make the playoffs this year. Like that's the guarantee.
Okay.
And then they could win and win and win and then
They just become like a playoff.
right,
level team.
they make the playoffs. That's scenario one.
Okay.
They make the playoffs in their inaugural season.
Okay.
Okay? Or option number 2 that Mr. Genie gives us is 7 years. 7 years, Poppy. Okay? 7 years from the inaugural season,
Okay.
they win a Stanley Cup. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
But
Well.
there is a caveat to the Genie's Stanley Cup guarantee.
Okay.
And you have a playoff drought. No Stanley Cups, no playoffs for the 6 years prior to that 7th year Stanley Cup.
Whoa.
What do you choose as a Utah hockey fan? Right? And then the genie goes back in his ball and he's like, goodbye.
All right. I'm going to choose the former.
Former being you get the playoffs this year.
This year and just...
You're right. It's the raw talent. Basically, you're telling the genie that, yeah, I want them to make the playoffs this year, and they use their talent to try and win. And then from that year on, it's just...
They're skilled enough to make the playoffs.
Right. And they could make the playoffs every year, but it's not guaranteed after year one. So they become the Utah Hockey Club in general, right? With the skill they got, they have to go through the whole process. But 7 years from now, if you choose the last part, the second piece, they don't get the playoffs for 6 years, but they for sure guarantee you that you're getting a Stanley Cup in year 7. You are hoisting a cup in year 7 for Salt Lake City Utah Hockey Club, which is probably the Utah Yetis at that point. What do you pick, dude?
That's hard.
Do you want a guaranteed Stanley Cup, or do you want a playoff in its inaugural season? But drought. That's the hardest part about this question.
Yeah.
Is
it's
a 6 year drought. Because
what already the Arizona Coyotes experience, which is why I would choose the playoffs, because
they could advance with the team they have now.
It's just leaving it up to chance, right? They could win the Stanley Cup in this scenario.
They could
before the 7 year.
They could,
but it's guaranteed at year 7 versus like, hey, I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to go with that. Hey, if Genie can make them a team
that makes the playoffs this year,
and that they can continually be in this building stage, that maybe within the next couple of years they would, on their own accord, win the Stanley Cup.
I think I'd take the Stanley Cup. Here's why. It would be so awesome to see this franchise go through the process of building a championship team. And that timeline almost fits for, like, even Bill Armstrong says, in about 10 years, I bet we get there. Right?
Okay.
The team is there in 10 years. So we've already accelerated GMBA's expectation
to year 7
to the
of 10.
year 7. But the fact of the matter is, you have a new franchise. Well, okay, it's an old franchise that is relocated, new face, new identity, and guaranteed a Stanley Cup. Because guess what will most likely happen? They won't win it in 7 years. I rescind that. I said in a previous episode that they would win a Stanley Cup within 5 years. I do remember that. Do they repeat what Vegas did? Vegas won in 5 years, did they not?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I like the Stanley or the
playoffs
route is because
the drought.
The drought, and as well as like building up the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like,
and it'd be much more satisfying. To your point, I think it'd be more satisfying to see progress along the way. And it's all like, it's exciting that they made it year 1 in playoffs because of the Genie.
Yeah.
But then every year after that,
like,
it's
they're
them
a contender.
doing it.
But it's not a guarantee.
But what if they suck the next year? Yeah.
Or in the sense
what if they have a drought anyway and we don't get the Stanley Cup?
Or what if they just
right?
keep making it to the playoffs and they can never get past round 1?
Right. So then we're in year 10, we don't have a Stanley Cup, and we have gone up and down in the playoffs. See what I mean? Now I'm changing your mind. Now you want the Stanley Cup in year 7.
Like, I like guarantees, but at the same time, it would be so brutal in the development of a new location, a new franchise, to just continue on this runt of the joke of Arizona Coyote, like, just we aren't making the playoffs.
Yeah. Tell us what you think. That's the face-off frenzy. I think I'd take the Stanley Cup in 7 years with a 6-year drought of playoffs. Denz says, get us to the playoffs year 1 and let the team naturally build momentum up to a Stanley Cup. Boy, interesting one. Curious your thoughts. Make sure you comment, subscribe, follow. Let us know what you think. Maybe we'll shout you out in one of the episodes. Okay. How we ending this thing? Rapid fire roundup. Yeah.
Rapid fire roundup. All right. So we introduced this new segment 2 episodes ago, and it's just going to be throughout the season. So I want to recap.
We got to recap because I'm about 500, I think. I'm probably under now.
So,
well, we don't know the outcome of the game that's going on right now.
That's true. But I had Champ here just given a quick rapid fire. I say, these are the games that are playing. Give me a W or an L.
Yep.
And he went through, and he guessed a lot of them wrong.
But I guess a lot of them right.
And to where we are today. So, real quick recap. We're going to talk about the scores and whatnot of the games that have happened. September 22nd against the St. Louis Blues. First preseason game was a win, 5-3. Next was September 23rd. LA Kings, the first home preseason home opener, was a win.
I said a loss.
That was a win.
Okay, so
we won in overtime 3-2.
I was 1 for
close.
2.
Could have been.
I know, 1 for 2.
September 27th against Vegas. You said
I
loss,
said loss,
and that was correct.
We lost. Okay, so I'm 2 and 1.
It was 5-2 on that one.
2 of 3.
September 29th, Colorado, you said we would lose. We actually won 6-3.
2 of 4.
And then October 1st against the San Jose Sharks, you said win.
And they won.
3-1.
Okay, so I'm 3 of 5.
And then Anaheim Ducks, October 2nd, which is tonight.
It seems like they're going to lose.
It was 5-2 with only 4 minutes left. So I'm going to say that they lost.
They lost.
And you said we'd win.
So I'm 500.
Yeah.
3-3.
So on Friday, October 5th, is the Maverick Center game.
But if you remember, my final win-loss approach was what? 4-3.
Oh, okay.
So even though I might not have got the games right,
It still might
I
be
might get
4-3.
the record right.
We'll see.
All right.
So, yeah, then they end preseason October 5th at the Maverick Center. It's funny. They call it neutral ice. And I'm like, meh. I mean, it's not the Delta Center, but it's like 10 minutes difference.
It's about as neutral as Des Moines, Iowa was.
Anyways, so here is the next rapid fire roundup.
Okay.
I only have one game for you between now and the next episode we're going to film.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to do October 5th because you already
Right,
did that
right,
one.
right.
The one game, October 8th against our one and
Dude.
only first ever rival team. Just kidding. I don't know if they're going to be a rival team, but the Blackhawks.
W, baby. Let's go. I'm feeling it. Man, when we played that home game in a preseason matter,
It felt like a playoff game.
it felt way electric.
Yeah.
Even those clowns behind us, they were like, oh, these are the old Coyotes. But they still enjoyed it. The energy was electric. It's only going to be better. We even read, well, a fan commented on one of our YouTube videos, said that GMBA, or was it Chris Armstrong, that said,
Chris Armstrong.
we held back on the show, the music,
For preseason, all that.
for preseason, so that come October 8th, they got a lot of things they said that they have up their sleeve. So make sure you're there. We got to, Utah, we have to come together and make that arena jumping. But I believe that with the energy and this team and their skill, we're going to get a W. And I'll even give you my guess of a score.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay? I think it's going to be 3-1 Utah.
3-1 Utah. Do you think Champ has it right? Let us know in the comments.
Oh, and the first goal, we said who gets the first goal?
Last episode.
Yeah, do we remember who we said?
I said Keller.
And I said,
I don't remember.
I can't remember who I said, but it's going to happen. Oh, sorry. That was a hard punch. Hayden.
Hayden, yeah.
Yeah, I said Hayden. Other people commented on our last episode. Doan was one of them that came up. There were other ones.
Yeah.
But I say W, 3-1 Utah.
W, 3-1 Utah. It is written in stone. Let's see if Champ is right. That concludes Rapid Fire Roundup
And
our episode for the evening. Gosh, we cut out 2 segments tonight, and we still went long.
what was the time?
We just have, I think it's like over 40 minutes. I
Jeez.
can't see from my
We're
screen.
trying to make it shorter for you guys so it's more digestible, but if you keep watching, we'll keep
We just
making
have a
them.
lot of fun.
We do.
So that's a wrap, though, on our episode this evening. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share for opportunities to go to games on us this season. Thanks.
And we will see you
Hopefully
October
on October
8th on a Zamboni.
Yep. Let's go.
See ya.
See ya.